Well, good morning everybody. It's not morning, it's actually 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but I'm just ready to start doing it. I've put the broccoli in, and that's making a lovely green colour. So that's got to cook for ages to get the colour out of it. I tried to turn this cooker down, but it's impossible. It's almost a pinky colour. So, it's one of these old gas cookers that doesn't seem to hold down. See, it goes out if you do that. So I just move it over a bit. What else have I done? These are the colours. This is the dock root and leaves and everything and seeds. I don't know if you can see the colour. Mind you, the curtain's not helping, but the sunshine's so bright. There we go. It's murky. I strained it through muslin, but we'll see. This is the dock leaves, just the leaves on their own, which is a sort of muddy, reddy colour. I think I'll leave the, I don't know, probably wash that out. Use the bits in the bottom as well. And I'm going to do some with vinegar. And I found some alum, I thought I had some. Now this is spinach. It looks brown, but it's actually sort of greeny colour. So we'll do an experiment to see, I'm not an expert, please don't think that, to see which colour works out best. I've had the skeins of yarn that I wound up soaking. I've washed them in just a gentle dishwash soap and rinsed them, and they have to soak for 15 minutes. I was going to empty that. I've got some milk to frost in, so I keep it in the freezer. But this is the trouble I have. That's next to the cooker, which is great, but I've just washed all the dog bowls again. Who's that? Lily. Lily ate a mouse yesterday. It was disgusting. Whole one. I didn't even see her kill it, but she got it, and all I could see was the tail. Anyway, so these are my babies, and they have to sit right in front of the cooker, especially when I rattle the bowls. You're tired in there. Might shut that window curtain again, it's a bit bright with it open. It's nearly 6 o'clock at night. Did I say 4? No, it's 10 past 6. And I've been busy all day. So what I'm doing is, I've got this glass container which was a cookie jar, but it's got no lid, so that's going to be straining this into. Excuse me, darlings. Peep, peep, peep. Peep, peep, peep. Don't move. Oh, I love the colour of the broccoli though. The stems, look at that, beautiful. Hopefully I can get something like that into the wall. It's just an experiment. And I washed the calico last night and dried it, so that's all ready to go. I'm going to cut a piece off that's probably 2 metres long, and what I'll do is dip it in like a variegated fashion. So I'll dip it in the one dye and then put it over into another dye, just on the length of it, you know. So I've got 5 metres, but to be honest I don't want to use all of it because I might need some. I'll make bags as well, like tote bags, shopping bags, you know. So that's all washed and dried and ironed. Puppies are snoozing. Oh goodness me, and I managed to get this on. Oh, excuse the cow poo. Look at that. Blooming dogs. They bring it in and chew it up. And I've made this edge around it, but I've padded it. I've put a tiny bit of the cotton wadding that I use with scrim in it, which is like net of poly something or other, just to hold it together, and it doesn't, you know, go all lumpy when you wash it. So, but I put a thick edge around it because this material's not long enough. I wanted to do it so that the yellow showed on the front too, but it's when I sew it, it's going to be just a hint of the yellow, and the blue will be at the front, like on the green there. So on the back all you'll see is the yellow and the green, which will be nice and pretty. And then I've just got to sew it, but I thought I'd get this dark dye cooked while the windows are open. Oh, exhausted today. What else was I going to tell you? Morgana's going off to her retirement home tomorrow. Oh, heartbroken about it. What are you doing, Gangan? I love her so much. She's my baby. I can't decide if it's best to do what's best for her or what's best for me. I picked the camper up, by the way. I have to get the vacuum out in a minute and throw it all in the bin. Lucky I've got one of those vacuums that's, you know, you can empty the canister thing. I quite often wipe it out with disinfectant wipe as well and leave it to dry. I mean, you can wash it, but I still like to disinfect it. Now that's boiling down nicely. Lovely colour, look at that. I wanted to explain something as well. I'm going to turn you round and hopefully you can see me. Ooh. I think you can see me. I'm just going to check. Oh no! Obviously that wouldn't work. But anyway, I'll try and explain, and hopefully I've got you on the picture. If not, I'll have to redo this part. But I don't do editing at all. Well, I've never done it, as so far anyway. But I'm going to learn, I'm going to try, but in the meantime, each video will be just a short one, just a 10-minute one. I may not have that many things to show you doing dyeing, but if I've got something to show you and I feel up to it, I will put it on the website, on the YouTube channel rather. And sometimes if you want any other videos of the pugs and things, you need to go to Ellen Gone Pugs. There's lots of videos on there of pugs and various playing since probably 2013 when I got my first iPad. So it goes back ages, and it's all on my Facebook page, which is Ellen Gone Pugs. There are some odd things in there, like when I did the kitchen cupboards and painted them and bits and bobs, but not a lot of DIY. But if you're interested in having a giggle or watching the pugs doing silly things, then you're welcome to watch that. Yeah, so my name's Beverly. I think I've introduced myself before. Better known as Bev. I'm 50 odd. I'm not telling you how many. I've got a couple of autoimmune diseases. Potentially I might have, excuse me, what's it called? Chronic fatigue syndrome or post-viral syndrome or something after having a very bad virus, which is all they would say. Because in Australia they wouldn't even test you until June of 2020. You could get a test, but even then I couldn't get one. Oh no, it was March they brought the tests in. But luckily for them, we didn't have Omicron before that, or Delta, or the Alpha, because they assumed it wasn't here, I think. But my friend and another girl who came to do cleaning for me were all very, very ill at the end of February, and we all got together for a coffee and a chat and a hug, you know how girls do. Talking about my friend was doing some cleaning, and she offered to come and help my other friend, do some cleaning, because she's got autoimmune diseases too. She's got rheumatoid arthritis. But this other young girl, who was the cleaner girl, came to my house and was helping me paint the ceilings in there when it was a mess. We had to have all the ceilings replaced because they were too low, apparently. It was just a garage turned into, or a shed, as the Americans say, turned into a house. So anyway, the ceilings had to be raised up, and we did that. Cost us a fortune. And then just before Christmas, on the 20th of December 1919, I broke my toe. I dropped some flooring, you know, the boxes of flooring, vinyl plank stuff, very heavy, straight on my toe, my right foot. Oh God, it was agony. Anyway, that broke, and I went to hospital. My daughter took me, my elder daughter was visiting, and it was broken. They gave me a boot, so I was alright, but after that I recovered from that. I had to go and see an osteotherapist because it was broken in 3 places. They basically said there was nothing they could do and it would just get better on its own, and it's finally better. But sometime during that phase, when my friend, who was a cleaner, actually worked on the Bruny Island ferries, which means that she was cleaning them, and we were still open to Chinese tourists at the time. So, and the other friend who got sick, she'd just been to Japan. So between us all, anybody could have got it from anywhere. Anyway, we all got really, really ill. My younger friend was sick for about 6 weeks. I was sick for about, I'd say at least 8 weeks with a cough. And I think I got a bacterial infection afterwards as well. So what I'm trying to say is I wasn't tested, but the doctor said I had a really bad virus. But, you know, that doesn't really help me. Nobody would test me. In actual fact, in June, my feet swelled up and my veins all sort of burst, sort of near the surface, do you know what I mean? On my legs, and my feet were like literally this fat, and I couldn't walk. So we called the ambulance, I went to hospital, and they put me in the COVID ward, didn't they? Which was great. But that was in June. But they still wouldn't test me. And they said, oh, they did a blood test, that was all they did. They said, you've got a bacterial infection, not a virus, which was, by the time June came around, I'd still got it. Got the cough, you know. And I was so sick, I couldn't even walk around the garden with the dogs. And the garden's about 2 acres around, you know, in that back area there. And basically, yeah, they sent me home with antibiotics. And I said, well, where's the infection? Because I didn't feel sick apart from still having the cough. They said I hadn't got pneumonia because they'd checked my lungs. But anyway, with lots of antibiotics and months of rest, I think it took me 4 months to be able to, I've got tea on my nose, to be able to go up the hill. It's only a very slight incline in the back garden. I'll show you one of the days. Without getting out of breath, and even now I have to get up there, have a sit down, and then do the rest of the walk because the dogs and I go round and round a few times every day. A few times, 4 times a day I should say. And their puppies play out there anyway, so they do what they like. Very naughty, little rebels. So since then I've been poorly. Sometimes I'm okay, sometimes I'm really tired, sometimes I can't even move. But getting any help from doctors is virtually impossible. They just tell you, oh, it's a virus, you're fine. Oh, it's old age because my legs keep swelling up. But, you know, I'm active, I used to be. I know I'm overweight, but I used to be active. I mean, most days in the summer I could get all the poos up, mow all the grass, which is a 2-acre paddock, have a bit of a rest, and then do 8 loads of washing, you know, or bath 13 dogs, because I had 13 dogs at the time. Now I can do one job a day. Either I go shopping, or I do some cleaning, or maybe go to the vets with the dogs, you know, and that's me done then. I'm stuffed. So I basically just try and eat something sensible, but I've got no appetite, so I don't know what's wrong. But anyway, nobody seems to know. Nobody wants to do an antibody test because it's too expensive, I assume. I've even offered to pay for it myself to see if I've actually had COVID, because I'd like to know. And then a few months ago, can't remember when it was, middle of early Feb I think, oh no, early December, I had a really bad, no it wasn't, early January, really bad bronchitis, and my daughter had it too, which makes me wonder if it was in fact Omicron, although we've all been vaccinated 3 times now, and that's a personal choice. I don't care whether you're vaccinated or not, you know, I believe in freedom of choice, so I don't judge anybody. In fact, 2 of my good friends haven't had it, which is their choice, but I had it because of, I think I've had COVID before and I don't want to have it again. It was horrendous. It's the worst illness I've ever had in my life. So, right, well, that should do it. I'm going to get the dye baths ready and strain this broccoli and cool it, and I'll do 2 of each. So one will have alum in it and one will have vinegar in it, and I'll show you the process when I get round to getting organised to do it. So, but I was trying to explain about the brain fog I get from this illness, whatever it was. It may be my fibromyalgia is just really bad since I got sick, I don't know. Doesn't matter. I cope. I just have to take it that I, you know, take it on the chin that I can do less than I used to. So I have to plan my life accordingly. And some days, like tomorrow, I've got to get up early and take Morgana to meet the lady in New Norfolk at blooming 12:30. I don't think I'm going to get there that early. But still, I shall try. Okay, that's the other thing, I can't sleep at night. I seem to have plenty of naps in the day, but I can't sleep during the night. So it's left me with this terrible brain fog, and some days I can't function at all. So if I don't post sometimes, that'll be why. But thank you all for watching, and I'll bring you back when we do the next one.